Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I want to go over this month, June's TBR. It is June 3rd, so I've actually already started 3 of the books that I'm about to talk to you about. And then there is 1 book that I'm just going to continuously be reading that I'm starting this month. But it's a pretty big book, so it's probably going to extend past June, but I'm going to start it today actually. So let's just get into it. I have picked 7 books for the month of June, and the first one that I have already started is Lore of the Wilds, and I took the cover off just because I don't like the texture of this cover at all. Like when my hands touch it, it just so I took the cover off. So here it is, Lore of the Wild. I'm already 60 pages in, and I chose this book just because I haven't really read a, I guess, fantasy book, so I just chose this to start with. I feel like it would be a good introduction to see if I like this genre all the way before I get any more. So I chose Lore of the Wild as the first book. The next book that I chose was Waiting to be Arrested at Midnight, and I feel like I would pronounce the name of this group of people wrong, but I chose this to learn more about the genocide in China with the Muslims. So this is the second book, and I've already started this one as well. The third book that I'm going to be reading, and that I actually just started today, is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. So last month was the first time I read a romance in years, and I like the light and airiness of it. So I'm going to continue with 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Let's see where I put the other 4 books. So I have books everywhere. The next book I chose was The Watchers, and I guess this is gonna be made into a movie. I had absolutely no idea until I got the cover. But it says, the forest isn't charted on any map. Dark on the brightest day, knotted branches hide its ancient secrets from the sun. This is no place to linger, especially after dark. Mina is taking the country road to Connemara, an ever-narrowing maze across frost-pocked moor and bog. As the light fades on the leafless December day, her car stutters and engine dies. Outside, from an unexpected tree line, a scream. No, worse, an otherworldly shriek. Mina knows better than to get out of the car, but of course she will. Okay, so I wanted to obviously continue with my horror and thriller type books because I feel like that's just more me. So The Watchers. Next, Sisters of the Lost Nation. And I got this to read more about indigenous people. I have another book called Whiskey Tender up there, but I think that's more like an autobiography. But I chose this by Nick Medina, and I just wanted to read more, and I think this is historical fiction, and I wanted to also get, I think his other book is Indian Burial Ground, but Sisters of the Lost Nation. The next book, We Are the Origins. And I don't know, there's just something about this cover, and then when you stand before the gods, tell them Brandy sent you. Forced into a life of serving the queendom before she was old enough to deny them, Brandy was a cultivator of death and the queen's own bleed, reserved only for the disloyal and the blasphemous. Crafted by the queendom and forged in blood, she was nothing more than a tool. She was never meant to have an opinion on whose blood she shed, never meant to question whose back she was pressed into or whose throat she was slipped across. So we are the origins. And the last book that I plan to read in the month of June is The Survivors of the Clotilda. And just another history book for me, and to learn about slavery and all of that. So I feel like the past few years I've just been heavily into our history. I would probably say since 2018, that time frame. Probably even before that, because I think I took my first African American history class in 2016. So yeah, ever since then I've just been like searching for books like this. So The Survivors of the Clotilda. And I don't have it over here, but the book that I'm going to be reading that's ongoing is Shogun. I have the entire book, not part 1 and 2, because you can buy it part 1 and 2, but I got the whole book for Mother's Day. So that is the book that I'm going to be reading throughout. The past 2 months, the book that I was reading throughout along with my TBR was The Stand by Stephen King, but I just finished that probably like a week ago, or if that. So now I'm going to start Shogun. So these are the 7 books that I plan to read this month, and I will see you in